Good evening, everyone, and welcome to night three of Podmas 2024. I am your fat friend Mark, and it is December 3rd. We are here rocking and rolling, going to try some more whiskey tonight. Last night we had Nick Nean, which is a organic single malt Scotch whiskey. Out of the two so far, probably my favorite. Very smooth, had a very delicious taste, pretty much all the way. Very smooth. I can't stress that enough. But tonight we're going to be trying something a little different. Again, for those of you just joining us, go back and check out the first two nights, especially the first night, because the important reason why for that is I lay out the whiskey tour of the world and kind of what it is, the 24 different whiskeys that we'll be trying, gives a little background. I talk about the whiskey guidebook, distillery journal, and I'll be showing some pages from that tonight as we look at what I'll be drinking tonight. So let's dive on in. So we've got whiskey number three. This is the Hardenberg Distillery in Germany. So we're still hanging out in the European Union, it sounds like. And it is Beverbach single malt, 43% alcohol by volume. Beverbach whiskey is made by the Hardenberg Wilthrin Distillery in Germany, which is a distilling history stretching back more than 300 years. Distillery has been owned and managed by the aristocratic Hardenberg family since 1700. So, quite some time there. Let's take a look. What else do they have here? Whiskey from Hardenberg, Beverbach whiskey. Tri-Cask single malt German whiskey was the first premium whiskey to be launched under the new Hardenberg distillery in Lower Saxony, northwest Germany, and is named after the river that flows next to the Hardenberg distillery. So some tasting notes. On the nose, there should be a warm barrel notes, punchy cereal and malt aromas, and a hint of smoke. On the palate, complex taste blends delicate, fruity notes with a characteristic malt flavor. And on the finish, warm wood and barrel aging aromas reminiscent of vanilla and caramel. So let's give it a go, shall we? So, of course, I will be drinking out of the Whiskey Tour of the World glass. The set came with two. Very nice little anchor on it. Of course, this one doesn't seem to be quite lined up, center up and down, but you know, what do you expect? So here's the Beaverbach, and it says whiskey from Hardenberg, Tri-Cask, single malt German whiskey, product of Germany, imported by Misa Imports out of Dallas, Texas. So, and for those of you wondering, each of these bottles is 50 milliliters. So just around a double shot. Ooh, it almost has a, coming out of the bottle, almost a sweet aroma. So we're going to pour it into our glass, let it breathe a little bit. And now I'm not going to take the full amount just because I want to, be able to save some to enjoy at a future date. Let this catch a little air. And remember, when we smell these, similar to wine, you don't want to just, you want to get in there. You really want to get your nose all up in it. This one is very pungent. It's strong, hitting high in the sinus. I don't. For those of you out there, if you're a Johnny Walker enjoyer, which I love me some Johnny Walker Blue, it very much is reminiscent of the smell of Johnny Walker Blue. I can almost taste it in the back of my throat as I'm inhaling. So let's give it a little taste. It is very warm. On the nose, it says a punchy cereal, malt aromas. I don't really get the hint of smoke that it references. On the palate, complex taste, blends, delicate fruity notes with characteristic malt flavor. I definitely get the malt. I don't really get the fruity. And there's a tingly a little bit on my tongue. It's nice. It's not quite as smooth as the Nicknean from yesterday, but it definitely has a very warm oak wood. And on the finish, it says warm wood, barrel aging aromas reminiscent of vanilla and caramel. I don't really get the caramel, but I do get subtle hints of vanilla. So again, this is the Beverbach from Hardenberg Distillery. Very good. I would say this would probably still wouldn't take over the number one spot. I think Nicknean is definitely going to be my number one choice so far out of the three. But this would probably be number two. So I definitely am looking forward to how this progresses. If the first one back on day one was the worst that I end up having, and that wasn't even bad, this is really a nice set. So if you happen to be out at a Costco, I know that they are selling them at limited locations. So Whiskey Tour of the World, brought to you by Gravity Drinks of the United Kingdom. Go look for it. It's a great price at Costco. I think it was 150. If you buy it online through Amazon or anywhere else, I think you're probably looking at close to 250. So if you can find it at your local Costco, so far, well worth the price. So I appreciate you joining me on trying this Beverbach, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow and drinking some more whiskey. Hope you all have a great night.